how does one know if they are connected to an authentic master, and what is the importance of such a connection?
If they are authentic within themselves and they hold on to their authenticity rather than their transitory being, they may be capable of recognizing and telling who is who. If they have no such connection with their authentic being, they will be confused and drawn into different directions. So the more we are rooted within, the more clarity we have within, the deeper we know ourselves, the clearer we can know what kind of we know who is who. And everyone has a master according to their capacity. But in the original, authentic Siddha teaching, the master will not take such an important external role. They'll not create power distances with people who follow them. They'll be simple and ordinary at first glance. So if someone wants to be a true adept, they will need to peer through that ordinary appearance or whatever form, right? And since the knowledge is self-preserved, if one has not reached that level of purity, which is their own higher vibration frequency, and that purity means deep sense or deep perception of inner gratitude to the existence, humility, they won't be able to recognize the same frequency and dimension of their teacher. And I'm talking about true teaching. So according to Siddha teaching, and not Siddha teaching only, but Siddha being, a true Siddha Guru will never take a credit for the advancement of their students. Many, Siddha beings usually don't have so many students. They have followers maybe, but someone who becomes a student is rare. Has to go through a lot of trials and hardships. And through these hardships, they become pure, meaning humble, naturally rooted within themselves, content, and also clear and highly intelligent. So that spiritual intelligence allows them to decipher who is who and understand the teaching beyond the form. And so with time, when they receive spontaneous transmissions and spiritual support, it will be so spontaneous, like a gradual deepening of their being, that they will not credit it to their physical teacher, but they will feel that through this connection with the teaching, their evolution happens, so their advancement takes place. And because they don't hold on to the form of the teacher, they can advance further. They realize they hold on to the presence of the teacher and cultivate the same presence within themselves. And so in this case, there is no attachment, but the evolution goes on, advancement goes on. And this advancement seems like invisible, but it's deep unfolding. its deeper realization, and at the same time, deeper sense of humility and gratitude to the existence, which allows them to go further in their process of refinement and so on. But knowledge is not the only goal here. And knowledge doesn't mean a piece of information. Knowledge here means deeper perception of reality, the realization of various levels of creation within oneself. They can't be forced. So through their own purity, they gain access to this information. So what matters is the presence of a Siddha Guru and the connection, rather than the actual physical interaction or something like that. So through this connection, one grows, and because the connection is appreciated, but the form is not worshipped or considered superior than one's own form, there is no confusion there and delusion about the form. So one realizes the realm of the formless, or the realm of the subtle, and understands that the knowledge is not about just the physical realm, but of the subtler dimensions of self. And so that's the purpose of Siddha teaching and Siddha teachers, to, through the interaction, whether it's a purposeful interaction or from the, maybe from the intellectual point of view, maybe even pointless interaction. The point is to share that space of awareness through which the less advanced being kind of deepens their perception and dissolves their inner boundaries, dissolves their inner limitations. That's the purpose. But this is the moment when the teaching becomes advanced. So at first you need transmission where you use words, but later on it's just through the connection itself. Anyways, everyone needs to live their own life. And their life means whatever they are emanates outwards, whatever circumstances, people, situations they encounter. So that will be kind of, those will be pointers of life. But then their inner attitude will define their level of advancement. How you navigate through all these circumstances and people and situations and relationships will define your inner being. And so the more you let go, the more you realize that the value of the present moment, the more you start also realizing the subtle form of teaching and the teacher. And there is no division in your consciousness anymore. So there is more like a connection with a higher being rather than the form of the teacher or the form of the teaching. So you realize the presence, you understand the value of this connection, so you pursue your own life through this connection. And then you arrive where you can, where you're able to in one lifetime. So this is how it goes in a Siddha tradition. But it's not even tradition, it can't be even called tradition, it's just what it is. One's own falsehood and corruption will test one on this path. Because through the presence of the true master, life feels like it intensifies. That's where there is more opportunity to grow. One needs to take it in the right way. If one doesn't take it in the right way, if one does not understand that the cultivation of humility is the primary purpose, and humility means not assuming any position, not holding on to any position, flowing with life, experiencing life to the fullest and letting go of each experience. Then we value the present moment. If we can value the present moment, we will value the teacher and the teaching as one blend. So we'll realize that all these hardships are nothing but our own corruption, which now, through this connection with the higher consciousness, comes up more intense, in a more intense manner. And so we have to have this wisdom to persevere, to accept, to let go, and to understand that it doesn't really matter what's happening on the outside. The more we can surrender that corruption into the higher flow of existence, faster it dissolves. So many people foolishly think that they have to surrender to a form of the teacher or perform some kind of ritualistic worship. But it is a surrender to the higher being. It means the trust, like absolute trust in life, in whatever happens, that this flow is going to take me to my purity, to the point of pure being. So there shouldn't be any other aim if one wants to know true spirituality within oneself, not to know, realize it, be it. The aim is purity. It means experience and let go, experience and let go. Dissolving whatever comes up on an emotional, mental level, seeing it clearly, admitting it to oneself and letting go. There's no other way. We may try to fool ourselves into these beliefs that we can find some kind of other solutions, but on a true conscious path of evolution, there is no other way but to allow karmic experience or inner corruption, falsehood, and delusion to come out, face it, and dissolve it. There's no other way. And it doesn't mean that during this process we need to hide away from life. On the contrary, we need to dive into life, embrace it, and flow with it, but consciously being aware of each moment, being there fully in each moment, and then coming out of each moment, holding on to the ultimate being. Then, with that degree of purity, all the types of knowledge of creation, of dimensions will be revealed to us, but naturally. Because that purity, that humility, that higher frequency of being will connect us to the knowledge of higher frequency. And so we will realize what the true knowledge is, what the true teaching is, and who are true teachers and who are false.